Everybody, hope you're all having a good day. It is Monday, which means it's time for more catch-up playthrough, and of course, we are still playing Apollo Justice is Attorney Trilogy. That's not what I wanted. I was going to go to game selection first. So last time we started the Terabyte Serenade, and now we did investigation, which was essentially the entire stream because Apollo Justice investigations are long. So now we are on the trial section of the game. Let us go. July 9th, 10 a.m. District Court, corporate number 3. Oh yeah, we're going straight into it because we can't communicate. What is now in session for... How do I say it? Machi Tobachi, Your Honor. They're the pixie of the archipelago. Right, his trial. Court is now in session. Court is in session. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is A-OK, House Judge. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. My opening statements, yeah? Give me a second. No, not today. Not today. I'll leave it. Yeah, I apologize. Sure. No, actually, there was something else I wanted to ask you about. Yes? Say you're going to visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease. What do you say to them? Eh? I mean, you wouldn't say, get well soon, right? You'd only be kicking them when they're down. What are you talking about? Actually, I'm going to visit someone who is terminally ill. Right after this trial, the Chief Justice's son. The Chief Justice's... His son is afflicted with the most terrible disease. He doesn't have long, it seems. So I better go pay him a visit. I thought saying something moving might be in order. Might be the order of the day. Why didn't grown-ups ever just say what's on their mind instead of pretending? Is it going to be with something like... Discuss. Hey! What are you going to be like that for? In any case, have a busy day, so let's wrap this up quickly. Mr. Gavin, your opening statement, briefly. You're not head judge. I believe you'll be going on your hospital visit sooner than you think. First, refuse the victim in this case. Roman Lectus, age 45. The gold manager for De Sanchez La Mirar. It was death, both lawsuit being shot by a large caliber revolver. The report here is all. The report. This report has all the details. The corpse in the evidence. Judge's autopsy report died due to blood loss from a gunshot wound. Estimated time of death 9 to 9:30 p.m. Alright, caliber. That's quite large, isn't it? A direct hit from now could knock a man off his feet. However, the bullet struck him in his shoulder. The damage to his body was slight. Death was not immediate. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved. I suppose the victim's condition could have been much worse, considering the crime scene photo added to the court records. He shot in the shoulder in Lamirar's room. Two shots were fired. One shot missed, the other penetrated and passed through the victim's shoulder. Both bullets were found in the wall at the scene. Observes the diagram. Words! This is where the bullet hit. Alright, team. The court accepts evidence. I can also add to the court record. If we're talking about a 45 caliber revolver, let's assume that the killer was adept at the weapon's use. Really? Yeah, apparently, weapons that size have a powerful kickback. If, say, the judge tried to fire one, it would break every bone in his body. The vents will take more care of intrusion samples. As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in the dressing room. The dressing room has only one entrance, this door. That does seem to be the case, yes. However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots. You saw with you and Emma, huh? Yet when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty. Save for the victim's body, of course. But that's impossible! Exactly. This murder was impossible. For all but one person. One person? That is, of course, the defendant, Machi Tobaichi. Only this defendant could have committed the crime? But how? It's quite simple. The circumstances of the crime seem to make it clear. Very well. As soon as you have testimony to back up this claim, they shall witness this then. Your name and profession, please. I'm a Sky. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on security detail at the concert forum that night. Emma seems tired somehow. Security at the concert, you say? Some security I was. Couldn't even stop a murder. No, don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I've made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know? I'm sure it makes her feel much better. I want to hear about these bigger mistakes. In any case, because you were on security detail, the crime was quickly discovered. And we were able to identify the killer. You may get a court testimony, if you would. Describe the circumstances of that day and your discovery of the crime, please. Alright. Testimony, murderous circumstances. The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the first set, I heard shots. I went into the room filled with the blaring rock music and found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. It was like that the detective was the first on the scene. That door was the only way out of the room, right? Yeah, pretty much. And I don't get it. How can it say that Machi did it? They say we need a bit more information. Well, the events may begin the cross-examination. Alright. The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes? That's right. What was the detective doing on the security detail, may I ask? If it was only a concert. My thoughts exactly. Orders are orders, even when they come from rock gods. Professor Gavin? Yes, allow me to explain. I smelled someone that day, you might say. The stench of conspiracy. That day at the concert hall. Conspiracy? Wasn't obvious? Matt Keys! That whole morning, no, the whole day was ruined. It's all because someone stole my keys. Yeah, it's all because someone stole my keys. I couldn't buy my hall to the show. I couldn't open my guitar. I couldn't open my guitar case. There it goes again. Isn't it possible you simply misplaced them? Misplaced them? Misplaced items don't wander into a murder The victim's hands on their own? What's this? What's your game? If your keys were in the victim's hand, that means you're a prime suspect. Love, slow acting and new. Attorney Trilogy is waiting for you. He's singing something. Does everything with this guy have to be over the top? The killer happened in the middle of my concert. I was like a sailor adrift on the sea of clouds. Anyway, I didn't want anything else stolen. So I put the detective with the most time on her hands on the task. I see, I can accept that. Well, I can't! What do you mean, time on their hands? Please, a testimony? We were let in, though. I didn't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you. I get the Frolic special permission to be there. I wanted to see her again. Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now. Jeez, great. Some other hangers on tried to get backstage, but I drove them off. So no other outsiders were there then. And then... I believe we were having a chat when we heard the shot. You were the one chatty. I was seeing snack brews. Ah, hey! No snacking in the court! And you sure the shots came from Lamidar's room? Yes, absolutely. Hey, I'm the one being cross-examined here. Here, this will keep you quiet. Oh. Thanks. So much. How about it? Drop much. Emma. You're right, Munch. There. Hard to be saying about that, Munch. Please, either talk or read. Not both at the same time. Oh. Right, so after that, me and Mr. Lawyer there opened the dressing room door. Rock? Lauren, yes. When you say rock, are you referring perhaps this rock and roll music that's so popular these days? That's right. When we went into the dressing room, music was blaring over the speaker on the wall. They were pipe sound from the stage into the backstage though through speakers. Sorry. That way people in the back can hear when they're supposed to be on stage. Did it have to be so loud? You don't listen to the Gaviniers with your ears. You feel it with your entire body and soul. I always have the backstage monitors at full volume. When we walked into the room, the band was playing Guilty Love, I believe, making it easy to determine the time of the crime. If you're gonna hear that music playing, then everyone on stage for that song has an alibi, including myself. Anyway, I closed off the scene and started my investigation. How could you know something like that? As I said, it was clear from the circumstances. Listen, we know there was only one exit from the room, that door. And the small window only opened a tiny crack. And I was standing in front of that door. So, how could the killer have fled the scene? There's only one possibility, the earth end. Oh! But that earth end was too small. Who could possibly... Exactly. There's certainly no way you could get through, nor me. There's only one. The only one who could fit through was a child. A child? Remember, access to those rooms were limited. Only those involved with the concert were allowed. On all of the people involved with the concert, of all the people in the concert, only one is small enough to be considered a child. And of all the people involved with the concert, yeah, never mind. The defendant! The pixie of the Arpeggio floated up towards the sky. God damn it, got Claire. And disappeared from the scene of the crime. But that's just conjecture. Oh? There was no other way out of that room? You were there. You should know, head or forehead. And there was another final piece of evidence. Evidence? What? Marks were found in the air vent grill. Traces of it had... Sorry, traces that it had recently been opened. Wait, what? And something else was found, quite clearly. The defendant matched to his fingerprints. What? What? Order! That earthend was the only way out of the room. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the grill. Well, head of forehead? What fairy tale does this suggest to you? Only one could pass through that vent, that doorway to heaven. And that is one of our pixie. Sorry, and that one is our pixie. Why are you looking at me, Apollo? Hey, I was like whooping it up in the audience. So everyone stop, sorry. This is decisive evidence. Quite decisive, indeed. I believe that's enough of that. The prosecution has a rather convincing case. The only way in and out of the crime scene was what? Making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simple and decisive. I believe we have heard enough to determine our verdict. Even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit, I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture. Unfortunately, we have no direct witnesses. Fortunately, the criminal left the decisive evidence for us. That will have to be enough. Ark! I can't be ready. Very well, I believe this trial is finished. The defense has no contradicting evidence. The prosecution has presented our proof clear and plain. Clear and plain. If you have contradicting evidence, it better be clear and plain. Apollo! If Kyle's on the ropes already! Better come up with something quick! I know! Think, what can get us out of this? You need evidence or witness that can prove Matty is innocent beyond a doubt. If I doubt... Mr. Justice! Do you have a contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case? You better tell us about it now! This is it! And so soon? Mess this up. It's all over. The court wants contradiction proof? Contradicting proof? The prosecutor Gavin? You claim that there was no witness, that there were no witnesses to this crime? Are you absolutely sure? Absolutely. I spurred on my career as a prosecutor. And on my million-seller hit song, Atrocorine, my love. There he goes again. That's too bad, because there was a witness. Oh, really now? How did you come to possess knowledge the prosecution claimed does not? Because I'm the only one. I'm the only one in the world who knows this. What's going on? I just talked to him and He's alive! Mr. Latrice, can you hear me? Oh, witness. You're cold? Don't worry. You're going to be fine. Help is on the way. Can't see. Hang in there, Mr. Latrice! Tell me, who was the witness? Oh, this is... What? The victim said this before he died? Perhaps he did, or perhaps he did not. What do you mean by that? All we know is what her forehead says he said. It's no testimony, especially since it comes from the defense attorney himself. But it's the truth. He said it. I even told you about it. But apparently you ignored me completely. It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. Clearly this rookie lawyer thinks he can tell me how to do my job. That's enough! Mr. Justice, we need clear contradiction proof from you. This witness of yours, unknown to the prosecution. Hope you're right. Mayor carries a stiff penalty. Perhaps a stiffer penalty than usually is called for. Urgh. There's no backing out now. Let's hear the name of your witness, Mr. Justice. La Mayor. La Mayor. Recall Mr. Latruce's last words. Witness is in the siren. Aha! He means the siren. That's right. The siren of the ballad, La Mayor. La Mayor was only on stage for the second set, and she had access to the backstage area. She could be a witness. She could have been a witness. I see. Well, prosecutor coming. My claim still stands. There was no witness to this crime. Very well. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth then, shall we? We'll now take a break. We'll now take a break from Detective Emma Sky's cross-examination. Please show La Mayor to witness stand. Mayor would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today, we'll drag that story out of her no matter what it is. It's my distinct honor to welcome the Siren of the Ballet to our courtroom. You are too kind. What? You can speak English? Yes, I can. Though I am not very good. There is much I do not know. Speak so well. Have you spent time here before? Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language. Nor where I studied it. What does she mean? She doesn't know. I too thought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course. What's that? La Mayor suffers from amnesia. Amnesia? La Mayor is not my true name. Yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage. Whoa, she's even more mysterious than I thought. As lost singer La Mayor, she lived a good life. There are little difficulties for her, thanks to her success. Yet, I do not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress. I see. You care surprisingly little about people's past. You have nothing to fear in this courtroom, La Mayor. Thank you. Yet there is something I do not understand. I am being called as a witness. What might I say? No one would tell me anything of what happened. Even then, I hope you're good there. La Mayor, let me be frank. I did not want to ask you up here to testify. Yet that young gentleman with the wide forehead over there was adamant that you stand. Okay, so you've seen the post then. Okay. You understand why I didn't want to talk much about it. Oh my. Congratulations, Paulo! You're the bad guy! Well, now that you're here, please come with your testimony. If nothing else, the sound of your voice is welcome. Okay, so I can't spoil much. Tell us what you saw the night of the crime. What I saw. As for what I saw nothing. That night, I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Galvin's dressing room and was told to wait there. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details. I must say, you sound wonderful just testifying. I hope he was too distracted to hear what she was actually saying. There you have it. She saw nothing that night. Now we can only pray that the defense has the sense to admit defeat. I'm refraining from detaining her here longer than need be. Wow, you just got better, Apollo. Way to go. Everyone wants justice? Keep it short and sweet. Lamia wouldn't talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something. I've got to find out what. I don't think this is a just penalty moment, so I think we're still good on pressing. Yeah, we're still good. Okay. But you must have seen something. Mr. Latouche named you. Mr. Latouche? How can I tell you what I don't know? La Mirar, he said you were a witness in his dying words. I do not know what he meant to say, but that night... It was a great concert. You heard me sing? Thank you. I was hoping to get an autograph later, actually. Of course. Mr. Justice! This is the court's examination! You're on the line! Anyone deserves an autograph here? It's me! On my... one on my gravel would be nice! Hey, Judge! What? What's this? It's my autograph. Now keep this trial moving. What? Oh, my grandchild will be so happy! Apparently his grandson is a big fan. Let us continue, shall we? If you would, La Mirar. Tell us what you did after your stellar performance. Alright, you did not return backstage once? Where were you then? What were you doing? I was cleaning up on stage. There were many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing. I was Machi with you at the time? Unfortunately, I do not know where he was. Too much for an alibi for Machi. With Machi, correct? How was he then? He seemed as he always does. Though I believe he was shocked by the news of Mr. Latouche's death. Yet, he is not the type to show much emotion. Yes, he's given the police no end of headaches. He answered most questions with silence. And those glinting frames speak nothing. The questioning hasn't gotten very far. We sat there waiting. I was the incident explained to you. I was told nothing in detail, only that Mr. Latouche died. Oh yeah, that part. I was just thinking away from the pulse and stuff. I don't know. I thought you'd have fun with this. Have fun with it. Oh well. Of course, investigation requires some security. Mr. Latouche was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. Both Machi and I were beside ourselves with concern. Allow me to apologize, but please understand. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you. Yes, I understand. Think, what doesn't ring true about their testimony? It's hard to imagine Lamia lying. She might not be lying, but she's hiding something. Why wouldn't she tell me the night of the murder? Well, now we have to percent. This, maybe? Objection! Oh, hey! I'm sorry, Lemire, but I'm having trouble believing you. You remember this brooch, do you not? Why, that's Lemire's. She was wearing it for her song. Currently, that to the testimony, Prosecutor Gavin. What? This brooch was found after the murder took place. At the very scene of the crime. What? Lemire. How did your brooch get backstage if you did not go there yourself? And as Prosecutor Gavin had just told us, you had to be wearing it during your performance that night. What is the meaning of this, Lemire? Please explain. Lemire? Ah, crap. She's saying English is quite difficult. That trick's not going to work here. Your forehead may be large, but you are a lawyer, truly. But you have missed one important fact. What now? In fact, at the time of the incident, I went backstage, but only for a moment. What? Think back to the moment of the crime. You know whereof I speak. Is she really saying all that? What's she talking about, Apollo? Right when the incident occurred. Ah! Is she talking about that? What's this room for me? I have to call for backup. Right, understood. You want me to make sure no one comes in, right? Mr. Zeus, can you hear me? Well, so-called witness. You're cold? Don't worry. You're going to be fine. Help us on the way. The witness is... friend. Siren? How can a siren witness anything? Yikes, Emma! What was that? Who's there? What's wrong? Emma, did you see anyone just now? Huh? No. I could have sworn I heard the door close. I looked into the room. Just a glance, mind you. So that was when your brooch dropped. That explains that. It does. There was no other time I could have dropped it. But that's ridiculous. You only looked for an instance, but you dropped your brooch? Head forehead. She has raised a possibility. The only thing that can counter that is evidence. So she looked at the crime scene. Actually, I intended to go into the dressing room. I'm gonna see it because I feel like I will have to present evidence. I know nothing of what had happened, of course. But the moment I opened the door, I heard a terrible voice. Sorry, horrible voice. Head forehead 13. Who's there? No doubt. A horrible voice indeed. Ugh. I closed the door immediately. No, that explains the brooch. Let's return to your testimony. That's too convenient. She's hiding something. Lemire, you did look into the room though, right? Yes. Testify as to what you saw. Very well. Though it was only the briefest glimpse. When my performance was finished, I went backstage for just a moment. Oh! There's an interesting point. What did you see in that brief glimpse? I had only opened the doors slightly when I heard a horrible voice. And shut the door! I always wondered, Hair Forehead. Does that voice of yours lack a fire, you knob? That's my Georgia Steel, man. Just back off. I saw nothing. The late Mr. Latrice's body was behind the wall. A wall? Was there a wall there? Is what in English? At the vision, or partition, I believe. It was a large ocean room divided into two halves. And the murder took place in the inside half. Guess that partition might have hidden the body. Right. I have two things I want to check. Given that we now have the ability to perceive. Let's try it. I think the mouth didn't move there. Let's see the mouth. Yep. Gotcha. That wasn't exactly what I saw, but it wasn't. The late Mr. Latus's body, you say? Yes. You know something more about Mr. Latus's death than you were saying. What? I can see you trying not to remember. But the effort made you swallow. Can't fool my eyes. It is true. It was so terrible after all. Why did the Mr. Latus have to be shot? One moment, Lamar. Yes? What was that? What was that you just said? Why did Mr. Latus have to be shot? Yes. She was hiding something. I knew it! Lamar, I'm afraid you haven't realized yet, but... your words just now contradicted your testimony. Eh? How could that be? Take this! Lamar's contradicted her own testimony, and I must approve it. I'm gonna try two things here. A few things. I do not, if I do not understand the meaning of contradiction, it is you who has contradicted Mr. Trish's. Huh? Your evidence. It's meaningless. Ah! Wrong evidence! So what did she say again? Mr. Trish had to be shot? That's right. That's totally contradicts her testimony. Oh crap. I kinda went a different direction there. Wait, I might... I think I give you some... Oh, there we go. Let me get... No, not the autosave. Alright, let's get back to this. Oh, I see it now. Gotcha. See that more clearly now. Oh shoot! It's the other one. Okay, I have a better idea.
Gotcha!
Save after so we don't have to keep doing this perceive. Let's be smart on this. And I've lost it. I had it, and then I lost it. So tell me, Lamirar, how did you know that he had been shot? Eh? Well, immediately following the incident, a Geiger was placed on the scene. This is the document proving that. In your testimony, you told the court, no one told me anything about the incident. Furthermore, you testified you had seen nothing. Yet you knew that Mr. Lassus had been shot. How could you have known? Yeah. Lamior! You aren't hiding something from this court, I hope? That sweet song of hers was sounding a little too sweet. Now I remember. Please, allow me to add to my testimony. Of course. All we want to know is the truth. She looks kind of pale, huh? She saw something, I know it. Even the victim said so. I saw bullet holes in the wall. I knew Mr. Lassus had been shot. Only a glimpse, yet you knew there were bullet holes? Yes, I recognized them immediately. I have seen bullet holes before, you know. You have traveled across the world as a singer. You must have sung in places far more dangerous than our country. I go wherever my voice is needed. Those places are many these days. That's really cool! I hope we get to travel like Lamirar someday. I plan on recording my next album overseas. Their studios have a different sound, you know. Maybe I should go on a tour to Steel Tour too. Oh, Apollo. If only you knew at the end of this journey.
Objection!
Lamirar! They call you the Siren of the Pleiad. The lies are hardly becoming of such a creature. A put-down warrior of our prosecutor, Mr. Justice? Such put-downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo. Stop polishing your forehead and stop polishing your characters, yeah? Come on. Would that be cool for once? Observe the diagram. Lamirar, you looked in from the door for just a moment. Correct? Yes, is so. There were bullet holes in the room, yes? They were in the wall the door was on. Eh? You see, assuming you really glanced into the room, you couldn't have seen those bullet holes. Yeah. Lamirar. Yes? I'm afraid the defense has raised a good point. It appears you have been holding back something. And I must tell you? I must tell you what it is that I saw? Yes? The happenings in this trial are being recorded. I'm certain it will be on the news in Boncana. You understand your reputation is at stake. Also knew to avoid tarnishing it. Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her will yield us absolutely nothing. But she knew how Mr. Latouche died. And he named her as a witness. You must have seen something, Lamiar. Very well. Lamiar, please continue your testimony. Very well, I shall. New one is what I saw too. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like that. Sorry. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But it wasn't Machi. It was a grown person. I know it was. So you did witness a crime. And the killer was a grown person, you say? This is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play here, Forehead. Very well, here, Mr. Justice, you may begin your cross-examination. Great call, Apollo. You were right about Lamiar. What's wrong? You don't look too happy. This whole thing smells fishy. That's what's wrong. No bristly reaction this time. So you were heading towards the dressing room? Yes. So this is a little before she opened the dressing room door and dropped her brooch. About the same time Emma and I heard those shots. So I was on my way back. What exactly is something like a little window? Yes, well, window is the best word I know in English. I think that's how it is said, yes? You need not worry, Lamiar. Your choice of words is impeccable. There is a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers that detail? A little window on the wall? I saw the crime from there. You were certain that you heard 2 shots fired? Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit. That was when I heard a faint sound, like a gunshot. Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That was when I heard the second gunshot, much closer. And there were 2 bullet holes at the scene. No contradiction so far. It all happened on the other side of that window. There was nothing I could do. Oops, sorry. So it wasn't Machi who shot? Are you sure? Yes, quite certain. It amuses me that you would question her testimony. It is testimony in your favor. Isn't it my job to object? Yeah, Apollo! What were you thinking? Percy, let's just listen to what Lamiar has to say. Can you tell us how you were so sure? Yes, of course. You see... A grown person? That's a little vague. I'm sorry. My skills for your language is lacking, I know. Certainly you could at least see whether the shooter was male or female. It was a man. A young man. Are you sure of that? Yes, his voice was quite clear. Voice? Looking at this diagram, it seems the dressing room was quite clustered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter. As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice, it was the voice of a man. So you heard a voice. But wait! could not have been the victim, Mr. Lotus. Absolutely not. Did I not just say that that I do not forget a voice? If it was Mr. Lotus who spoke, I would have known. Indeed. So you were at the window, and you heard the shooter's voice. The voice of a young man. Apollo, this is a good testimony. This proves it wasn't Machi. Indeed. This turns out to be true. We cast this case in a considerably different light. What's the defense's opinion on this testimony? Let's see if... I'm gonna say it's pretty good for 9. We'll see. Well, I have to say it's pretty good. Vital, even. This shows that the shooter wasn't Machi. Surely you can't be serious, head or forehead. Why not? Lamirar, I understand that you would want to protect Machi. Yet remember, you are the sign of the Balliad, and lies do not become such a creature. What does the prosecution mean? Hello? What's he talking about? How come no one bats an eye when he says stuff like that? I recall the state of the crime scene quite well. State of the room. Yes, and when the murder took place, the window was closed. Kinda hard to believe you could hear a voice through it. What? But I'm sure... Lamirar, I have nothing but the highest regard for your musical scene. But my opinions of you as a witness is somewhat lesser. Musical sense, sorry. But she was the only eyewitness we have. She's the only eyewitness. Okay. So you say? And the victim named her the siren as a witness? That's right. That's what Mr. Lotus. We heard your claim. We even entertained the possibility. And that brought us to this. Herr Judge? Yes? The prosecution requests that the witness be excused. Please. I'm very much honored the prosecution's request. There is indeed a question of the witness's credibility. But if Lamiar can't testify, then we don't have a chance of proving Machi's innocence. This cross-examination is over. Prosecutor Gavin, you may continue making your case. Danke, sorry. Danke. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. I would like to hear from Leon's detective again.
Objection!
Wait, let me hear Lamar's testimony one more time. But the cross-examination is already over. Until such a time as a need arises, this witness may leave the stand. I'm sorry I could not be of more assistance. At last, back to the real trial. Ready here, forehead? I hope I didn't just miss my only chance. Well, Leon, detective, how far have we gotten until we were so rudely interrupted? Don't ask me. I just like saying the same thing twice. And I never repeat a song for an encore. You would, Miss Guy? I believe I was saying that the only way Mr. Lotus's killer could have escaped was through the earth vent on the ceiling. Ah, yes! There was only one door in the room. And a witness, you, was standing in front of it. That earth vent isn't very big, see? Kind of limits the people who couldn't possibly get through. I certainly would have a difficult time. I'm sure you would. So you sure would. Not that you would have been there in the first place, though. Remember, the whole backstage area was all limits to people who not involved with the concert. The only one to meet the condition for our killer is the defendant. A virtual performance. I couldn't put it better myself. She does state a clear case. Though reading the report, something caught my eye. Oh, what's that? The circumstances of the defendant's arrest. The circumstances? Again? Hey, that's right, Apollo. Remember when you found Machi? That was bizarre. She's right. Why did Mr. Lotus's body disappear from the room? And end up on top of that stage tower? Holding the guitar, no less. A perceptive observation, had a judge. Thanks. It was kind of an accident, really. But you work in this job long enough, you get a nose for things. It just sure seems pleased with himself. Very good, Ronlian detective. Perhaps you can tie it all together for us. Why was the body moved? And how does that lead us to the killer? The missing body. I believe Machi stole the body because of some lyrics. He made the body that matched Lamiara's song. No one in this country had a move to kill the victim. And Machi practically left the signature at the scene. All of this evidence clearly points to the defendant. Lamiara's song? Yes, the guitar serenade. You notice it's code too, do you not? Did you not? It's code? All the offense that they follow the lyrics to our song. First, the keys my heart held so technically were stolen. Then Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames on stage. Mr. Lotus's life was taken by a bullet. The rest hardly needs explanation. Guitar, guitar, up together to the sky. That's mad! It's like a story out of some fairy tale. I admit, I forgot about the song. But there it is nigh, waiting for me. The grand finale, as it were. Hey, you know, I was the one who first noticed that. I've heard of jumping rope to songs, and counting the songs. But killing? It's a wild word out there, Herr Judge. Very well. We've heard one song and dance. Now let's get on to the next. The cross-examination. I'm not so sure I'm going to do much singing. Sorry. We'll use the first file. No, I actually moved on, so never mind. We'll play on. Who would steal body just to match some lyrics? Oh. I didn't believe it myself. But it can't be just a coincidence. It is as Florian Lin detective says. Let us begin with the first verse, if you would, Florian detective. What? You want me to sing it? You are a witness, yeah? Or do you want me to sing? I warn you, my fees of vocalist is not trivial. Fine, fine. Let's look at the first part of the lyrics, shall we? When you stole away the keys my heart held on so tight. I'm sorry. Indeed, my favorite heart-shaped key rings were stolen that morning. Okay, next we go to the next page of the lyric sheet, where it says, burning on in my heart, fire burns my love away, all away. I'm sorry. As we know, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames. Like a bowl of love, fire takes my life away. All away. Alright. Mr. Latouche's life was taken by a bullet. Bravo! Lampion Detective, you are singing. It's not bad. Now for the finale. Alright. Guitar, up together in the sky. As it says in lyrics, Mr. Latouche was found with guitar high in the sky over the stage. No serious coincidences. All should be so well conceived. Alright. He's right. Scientifically speaking. What would Waki have said? That concert was whack. Okay. It's hard to argue when she pours her heart into it like that. Anyway, the shooter. Does the prosecution have any idea why he did all this? You want my scientific opinion? No clue. But he clearly had a reason to go through all that trouble. Some deep reason. So, a deep reason? Not only did he steal my keys, he torched my guitar! Unforgivable acts, even if he had a reason. And worse if he had none. The diva's compliments aside, I can imagine someone doing this on just a whim. Finally, on detective, I take offense to that description. Indeed, it seems too well rehearsed, shall we say? Yeah, the crime is planned for sure. But Mr. Latouche spoke English. He may have come to this country before. I looked into that, I assure you. Oh? It was his first time in this country, it seems. Apparently, he learned English on his own. Great. You see? No one here had a motive to kill him. Certainly not such an elaborate fashion. It does seem difficult to imagine. Unless our famous prosecutor did it as a publicity stunt. What did you say? Oscar Gavin! You did this to promote your song? Of course not. I'm not quite dismayed by a ludicrous nature of her claim. Why would I need a promotion? Everyone already listens to my music. They're even in my textbooks at school. Okay, and I never heard of them. What's to say about me? I was just kidding. Don't get all worked up, Glimmer Boy. What do you mean by his signature? The bullet holes in the wall, of course. The bullet holes? The revolver was fired twice. One shot missed and left a hole in the wall. And that means what exactly? The dressing room isn't exactly spacious. Picture the shooter's facing off with the victim there. They can't even be more than 5 feet apart. It would have been difficult, almost impossible to miss at that range. Difficult to miss, you say? Very. Assuming the shooter could properly aim. No, you can't be serious! Machi, he can't see! That's why he missed? It's the only explanation that makes sense. Okay. He used the sound and other senses to fire his gun. Poorly. Alright, that reminds me. The monitors in that room were blurring at the time, yeah? Hardly ideal conditions for tracking by sound. Blind shooter? No wonder he missed! I knew those bullet holes would come back to haunt me. Hey, Justice. What do I do now? Let's see if I'm gonna raise an objection. Sure, there were bullet holes left in the wall. But that doesn't prove the shooter could have seen it. Because I couldn't sing. Oh, hi so. Well, there could have been a struggle with the victim. That's certainly possible. And it might have been the revolver's fault. The revolver? The revolver was a very large caliber, remember? The shooter wasn't used to firing such a large weapon. Why, it would dislocate their shoulder. Exactly. The defendant, Machi Tabari, is, as you can see, tiny. It's not so hard to picture him firing a gun and miss entirely. The kickback alone would throw him off aim. Throw his aim. Convincing argument, to be sure. Haha, take that, smug prosecutor. Apollo. Huh? What? That bit about Machi being tiny. And the gun throwing off his aim. Aren't you kind of, admitting that he did it? Oh. It does not matter why he missed. What matters is that the shooter was, without a doubt, the defendant. Even the defense seems to agree on that point. Cripes. I really put my foot in it this time. But let's get the facts into the matter on the record. If you would, from the detective. Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony. Right. When seen to the crime scene, I consider the shooter was blind. You can't say he was blind because of those bullet holes in the wall. I think I've proven none. I wouldn't call proof per se. Huh? You merely raised the possibility. Only a detective has made the most logical conjecture based upon the evidence. Of course, there is more evidence than just bullet holes. The defendant was the only one who could have escaped through the air vent.
Objection!
But wait! If he was blind, he would have... How would he know about the air vent in the first place? Ah, a very good point. Well, Flanion Detective, would you care to explain? He certainly seems sure of himself. Recall the crime scene if you would. There was a stepladder below the air vent. As it happens, maintenance was scheduled for that day. Crocodile staff went around checking all the air vents. I don't believe it. So, everyone's backstage was told about the maintenance, including Machi Tupai. He would have known that there would be a way out at the top of that stepladder. But that's... Why is this the first time I'm hearing about this? You could have figured it out yourself. You only need to consider that that stepladder was doing there. We're having an argument on that one. Looks like the defense's objection has been squashed by a stepladder. Looks like, well, head or forehead? Out of ammunition, perhaps? Never seen Prosecutor Goblin so aggressive. Maybe he caught the scent of blood. Hello, don't you have something? Anything? You know what we need? We need something to prove the killer could see. That'll put him in his place. I mean, the shooter was sighted. We'd do it. That would take down one of their central points. Do I have any evidence to prove this? Do I have any evidence that could prove it, though? Let's see. Fine, I'll accept the prosecution's challenge. As I knew you were, head or forehead. What exactly am I up against here? The prosecution is saying the shooter missed because they couldn't see. Therefore, Machi, who's blind, did it. The defense will please present their evidence. Evidence that overturns the prosecution's claims that the shooter couldn't see. Gotta fake this one out. Got a few ideas. Let's try them bit by bit. What's it going to start with? Try the shoulder one. This is the evidence. This is that evidence. Photograph of the crime scene. Oh, right. I don't care much for the smirk on Prosecutor Goblin's face. This is no time to think twice. Time to press on. Yes, Your Honor. The crime scene. There is something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point. Then perhaps you best show us this something. Get your finger out of the breeze and put it into good use, Jal. Very well, show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. The contradiction Okay, the contradiction is right here. The smear blood. Oh, right. The contradiction at the scene of the crime is. Take that. The contradiction is right here. The smear bloodstain? I thought it was just my blurry vision. But it really was blurry. The way the victim's head is raised above his head. Much like the gesture I have seen so many times in this court. My finger pointing. It's almost as if he wrote something. Aha, I get it. At least I think I get it. Get what, Fran Leon? The Mr. Latouche was shot. He tried to write something. What would he write but the shooter's name? And what would he write it in but his own blood? Pretty good, huh? Thanks for making my point for me. Yeah, in fact, that's what I think happened here. This does seem to be a distinct possibility. The victim wrote the killer's name. It's certainly a logical conclusion. Drat! I just wish it wasn't all rubbed out like that. Of course it's rubbed up. Why, if I were the killer, I certainly wouldn't want to leave my own name behind. Neither with that. No one has anything else to say? Give it a minute. About what? So the prosecution accepts this? You agree this was the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer? And that the killer tried to rub the name out? What's your point? What's my point? Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name? Well, Mr. Latouche was writing something in blood. Once the killer saw what it was... Wait. Once he saw what it was... But what did... You just testify about the shooter? I said they were blind. Ah! There it is. Yet the crime scene itself contradicts itself. The killer had to have been able to see. Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? May I remind the court that the defendant, Machi Topai, he is blind? He couldn't have been the shooter. Impossible! Order! Prosecutor Gavin! Please explain to me what this all means. I mean, looking at this photo, it seems quite clear that the shooter could see. Yet, up until now, it seems I owe the court an apology. The Cavaliers are bound with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred. During our concert, apparently, this caused some confusion over jurisdictions. As a result, some reports were not filed in an entirely timely manner. I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here. Hey, Apollo, look at him! Why is Professor Gavin all relaxed and smiling like that? Like he knows something we don't? And he's about to tell us? I've got an idea. Let's rock! With these documents. But before that, I have a question for the family and detective. If I may. What? Tell me. Why do you think that Machi Tobai is blind? Huh? What did he say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind. Of course. He's the blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't let me lead him around by the hand all the time? No way. I have a report here on the Machi Tobai. According to this, Machi Tobai can see perfectly well. What? His blindness was merely a publicity ploy by those clever Bulgarians. He can see quite well.
Objection!
But you said... What did I say exactly? Head or forehead. Not once in the course of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. He is right, he has not said at any point. The only one who did was Frelnian Detective. But that's a significant fact, yes. Consider Machi Tobai sees. And he was the one who could have fled for the Earthent. I see no problems with this. But what about the bullet holes in the wall? Yes, the bullet holes. I believe Head or Forehead neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was the kickback of a 45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. Ark! How is that? I'm afraid your objection has just flown off for brighter skies. This is where the real fun begins, Head or Forehead. Ark! I knew you didn't have what it took. You jerk! Just what was I here for? Comic relief? Yeah, and apologize. Oh, sorry. That's no way to apologize. He angered the Tricity Eye. Look out! If you could please end the bickering now. Whatever, I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this. I'll come up with some clues to solving this case if it kills me. But your testimony's already given us enough to convict the defendant. Don't say that. What? The bloodstain. This bloodstain. The criminal tried to wipe it off, right? That seems to be what happened, yes. We might be able to find out what's really written here. Really? You can do that? That's right. With this. It's called aluminol. Maybe you know of it. It's a chemical that reacts to blood. Ah, yes. Have we done those tests yet? As if I'm going to tell you. The bloodstains cover a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, that section was removed and submitted. Perhaps we should request it here in Court 9. Right, go for it, Apollo. Huh? I have to do the test? You just have to spray the aluminum on it. Simple. Chemical that reacts to blood. I've heard of this somewhere. Yes, I believe analysis is called for. How about it? Right, ready? It's easy as pie. Just press X to spray an area. Here, give it a try. And eyes... So the eyes of the entire quarters are focused on me. Apollo, your hand's shaking! Do this. Wow, it really works. This must be the power of science. It says IPXX314206. Is that the killer's name? Maybe it is. If the killer was a robot... Aha! I have it. So what is it? I thought those letters IPXX looked familiar. This is the Interpol ID number. This is an Interpol ID number. Interpol? You mean the International Police Agency? Yes. Most are undercover agents working to solve international crimes. That's why he would write that number. Why would Mr. Latrice even know a number like that? Good show, Felonian Detective. Rock on! Eh? Your Honor, we can verify this number immediately. Theron, are you there? Come up to the witness stand. Daron, you heard what we need. Go check this. Go check into this Interpol ID number. Sure thing. Give me 30 minutes. No, give me 27. I'm not sure what to think of all this. The prosecution case is airtight. Or so it seems. Yet, if this number is really that of an Interpol agent... Oh wait, I know. What if Machi Tobai really an undercover Interpol agent? That would be a possibility. Possibility, yes. And one that would mark him as a killer for certain. I would like to know an Interpol ID number. That's what I want to know. Well, we have some time while we wait Daron's report. Let's work on unraveling another mystery, shall we? A curious mystery concerning Machi Tobai? What are you talking about? Ground Leon Detective, please accept my apologies. I received word the defendant could, in fact, see just before the trial began. It seems too much of a bother to tell you. You had me until that last bit. Does this not raise a rather straightforward question? Well, sure. Why did Machi pretend he couldn't see? Exactly. It makes little sense. What do you think, head or forehead? Huh? Me? Machi Tobai pretended he was blind? Do you know why? How could he have known? How could he know? Wait, Professor Gavin knows why, doesn't he? He knows from the start of the trial. He's been leading us on the whole time. Something wrong? You think perhaps this is all some kind of game? You know, the moment I heard that report, I knew that the moment I heard the report, I knew why. I suppose people who have sold over 1 million records really are something else. What does that have to do with anything? There was a reason why Machi Tobai pretended to be blind. But it wasn't for its own sake. Getting the picture now? It wasn't for himself? I mean, he's quite involved if you think about it. His keys got stolen, his guitar was put on fire, and a murder was happened during his concert. I think he's pretty much pissed. Mr. Justice? Can you present evidence that shows why the defendant had to feign blindness? Do we? I actually haven't got any clue. I have no idea. Head for head. I'm disappointed in you. I know. Unless you're merely feigning stupidity, Joe. Keep it up, wise guy. Must be that kick me sign. Recall the relationship of Lamiar and Machi Tobai. In particular, their arrangement over the years before visiting our country. Lamiar and a pianist. They would always walk together, she leading him by the hand. Even when they got on stage, she would lead him to the piano. She would walk all the way over there with him. That's right, because he was blind. Or so we thought. She led him all this time. Sorry, she led him at all times. All times. All times? Yeah, but I know why Machi could see perfectly well. Why keep up the charade? Well, wasn't it part of their performance? There is a simpler explanation, head I judge. Machi did not need to be led by the hand at all. Which means... You don't mean... I do. It was the other way around. The one who needed to be led by the hand was Lamiar. What's this? So you mean to say that Lamior is... She's... blind as a bat, Herr Judge. What? What? Order! This is crazy, Prosecutor Gavin. Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter and sound? Or something? Well, since we have her here, why not ask Lamira herself? I believe she is still in the witnesses' reading room. Hello? What does this mean for our case? Don't ask me. I have no idea she couldn't see. I hadn't even imagined it until now. Elf, bring in Lamira. Lamira, it pains me deeply to call you before us again in this way, and yet I must. Please do not be concerned on my behalf. Those eyes. She really can't see. Really? It is true. It's funny how funny it is that a tiny lie born in the Bulgarian countryside would one day grow to entangle the entire world. So you are... Yes, as I mentioned before, I have no memory of the time before I became Lamirar. No two that my memories begin in darkness. The word light has no meaning for Lamiar. I see. You may recall me saying something towards the beginning of the trial, head or forehead. What's that? I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses. Ah! Now, Lamirar, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes? Of course. It was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor? Yes, of course. Wait a minute, I'm a little lost here. I think we're all a bit lost here, Your Honor. In testimony, Lamir's eyes. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in the world of darkness and sound. And my producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. So, silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no other. But this is a murder trial! I apologize. It was part of my contract, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret, no matter what. Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would... She told us the truth in the beginning, when she said she saw nothing. Very well, does the defense have anything to add? I'd like to cross-examine. But what is there left to ask? There was one thing in her testimony that bothered me. Perhaps it would be best we let you get it out of your system. Someday you'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself. Very well, the defense may proceed. However, the murderous court will not tolerate any question deemed too stressful to the witness. Okay. There's only one part that bothered me. Just let me ask about that and I'll be happy. I don't know if this is a one-off or not. I'll just press no. So you don't know why you went blind? I do not. I may have been born this way, in fact. It's fruitless to attempt to pry into her past. And I might add, it's a delicate subject. I'm not sure we can reasonably expect Mr. Justice to do anything delicately. Hey! I oughta... A deep breath, and calm down. What I have now is all that I have. It is enough, I think. Weren't you nervous to hit the stage in your condition? No, not at all, surprisingly. It felt natural, singing in front of everyone. It's not something just anyone can do. She has a talent. That much is quite clear. You might even say she is beloved by the gods of music. Even without light, I live perfectly happily in my world of sound. If that is a talent, as you say, then I thank the gods responsibly. What about your PR motto?
Hold it!
Perhaps your music reminded him of the Bulgarian scenery? No, it was quite the opposite. The opposite? According to my producer, my music has a certain global quality. Global? Multicultural, if you will. Hard to pin to one region. When people listen to it, they picture the country closest to their hearts. Which is why my music has reached so many. What a lovely story. It sounds like this producer might have known what he was doing after all. My songs are nothing more than a white canvas. To me, the real landscape painters are the listeners. When I think of that, I do not mind how I am represented it to the world so much. Yet one thing quickly led to another.
Hold it!
Was that to protect your image as the landscape painter of sound? That does not matter so much to me, really. But the label is quite concerned about it, I think. A landscape painter who can't see. That's like a pianist who can't play, huh? I'm not sure you compare your father to Lamir. The world of commercial music is filled with those little white lies. Nothing is sacred when it comes to publicity.
Hold it!
When you say your staff, do you include Mr. Latus? Of course, he was my manager. So he knew. And that's what's been bugging me. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? I believe I know what is bothering our young defense attorney. You're thinking of when you discovered the body, yes? Is he right, Apollo? Yes, I was. He's alive. Mr. Zeus, can you hear me? Cold, so cold. Witness. The cold? Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Help us on the way. Can't see. Hang in there, Mr. Zeus. Tell me, who was the witness? The witness is friend. Mr. Zeus told me he asked the witness, and he named you. Why would he do that? He knew you were blind. I don't know. What did I just say? You need to learn to think for yourself. Meaning what? There is no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once more. The witness, Siren? We've heard them many times, along with a little play acting by our defense. I remember them well myself, but that statement is not to what I refer. I mean what he said before that. Before? What came before that? Art! That's right. He tried to tell you. When he said can't see, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness. I see. Too bad the defense did not. Well, head or forehead. Try relaxing and looking at the facts first this next time. Arr! Order! Recall Lamir's earlier testimony. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But she shouldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that. That is not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Mr. Zeus witnessed her through that window. Why else would he have named her as a witness? As the witness. Ah! But I really did hear them. 2 gunshots. And the man's voice. Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible. The window was closed. We had already run a simulation, of course. But it was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know it in an instant. Your Honor! What is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in session here? We have the results back from the investigation. Investigation? Ah, the Interpol number that Mr. Latouche left us. Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterwards. Detective present, your report, please. I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. Quick work as always, Deron. Tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent? IP XX314206. The agent registered under this number was Roman Latouche. What? Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Latouche himself. He was apparently in the middle of an operation. So when he wrote those letters, he was trying to tell us his own identity. And the cautious killer tried to wipe them away. Mr. Latouche was an undercover Interpol agent? So him being Lamierre's manager was just a cover, most likely. There's one other important detail I found. Well, out of it concerns that 45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently, it belongs to Roman Latouche. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms, and the registration number on the revolver matches. So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who was an Interpol agent to have with such a large revolver. So the victim was an Interpol agent on an undercover op? I wonder how that ties into everything. It's gotta tie in somehow, you think? Yeah, somehow. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescent. It's a great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be handing out. Oh, then. Wait. Lamierre, is something the matter? That voice just now. Deron? Mr. Deron, is it? It was him. I am sure of it. It was him? You aren't saying... That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Latouche. When he heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Deron. Is this some kind of joke? What? No way. Court fell into such a chaotic state the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I've never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that one. Lamierre, fingering Deron Crescent, not only... is he a guitarist? He's a detective? Could it really have been his fault Lamierre heard? Things are changing fast. Frankly, I wasn't sure I could keep up with it. Hey, no one be like nah, Apollo. And yeah, I think we'll pick this up next time because these are going long for some reason. So yeah, we'll save them wrap up. So we'll pick this up Wednesday. Seeing I keep forgetting the Apollo ones are longer for probably because these were like DS games, so they had room to be long. Like a wrap up here. Hope it's okay. Hope it's a week. Like I said, we'll be back on this Wednesday. I don't know. We stream tomorrow. We'll just see. But until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.